Hi, and welcome to the Homeopathy Health Show here on the UK Health Radio Network. I'm Atiq.
And I'm Naila.
We're both professional registered homeopaths, and between us have over 25 years of professional practice in this field of healing.
The Homeopathy Health Show is the voice of homeopathy on radio and podcasts around the world, promoting and raising awareness of this truly unique system of healing and healthcare, which is suitable for all ages, young and old.
Every week, we invite guests from the world of homeopathy to come and share their experiences, their work, offer insights, and essentially talk all things homeopathy.
Visit www.ukhealthradio.com to listen now. To find out more about us, you can visit us at www.homeopathyinpractice.co.uk. And whilst you are there, do subscribe to our newsletter.
Be inspired.
And join the conversation.
So let's begin today's show here on the UK Health Radio Network, the world's #1 talk health radio.
Real feel-good radio.
Hi, and welcome to this absolutely flu-packed episode of the Homeopathy Health Show here on the UK Health Radio Network. Yeah, you heard it right. Absolutely flu-packed. I have the flu, our guest has the flu, and my wonderful co-host has the flu. I'm Atiq.
And I'm Naila. And
Welcome.
please pardon any of the coughs and the
Please
sneezes.
pardon the coughs. Yes, absolutely. It's so nice to be back. It's been an absolutely wonderful time for the year because earlier this year, of course, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, you must know this, we celebrated Homeopathy Awareness Week around the world as homeopaths, and it was just so beautiful. And there was a very nice gala held in London as well. But it's just been such an exponential growth around the world for homeopathy, and the latest stats say it's 600 million people plus who are now using homeopathy. How wonderful, Naila.
It's amazing because I am now seeing that more and more homeopaths are busy every single day. Like people have to wait for their appointments because people are returning, people are coming back to natural health. They are getting aware, they're taking things in their own hands. And that's what our mission is in Homeopathy Health Show. We want to give you the power to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. And that's really important. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we have the flu. Anyway, I've got it, and it's so bad. Please, feel sorry for me. Okay, on to today's episode, Naila.
Yeah. We have a wonderful guest with us today, and in today's episode of the Homeopathy Health Show, we are delighted to welcome Erin Ellis, one of the directors of Canadians for Homeopathy. If you have not heard about them, you need to learn about them, because they are an organization that is helping to raise awareness, educate the public, and protect the right of people to choose homeopathy as part of their healthcare.
Now, at its heart, this is about empowerment. It's about giving people clear, honest information so that they can make informed decisions about their healthcare and the health of their families. And that's so important, isn't it, today? Because when people understand their options, everything changes.
This episode opens up an important discussion around advocacy, responsibility, and where homeopathy stands in today's healthcare landscape, not just in Canada, but globally.
Woohoo! Now, Erin Ellis discovered homeopathy when she was at a stuck point in her life and when everything else had failed, and it helped her get literally unstuck. She's absolutely passionate about bringing that same freedom and healing to as many people as possible, as we all are indeed. And Erin trained at England's famous School of Homeopathy. Woohoo! Shout out to Manny and Luke and everybody at the famous School of Homeopathy. We love it, don't we, Naila?
Oh, we love it. I love the School of Homeopathy. Just amazing. Best school out ever.
Best school. But hey, Erin is a certified classical homeopath as well as a certified Bach flower therapy practitioner.
Love that, Erin, because I also use lots of Bach flower remedies in my practice. But still, the introduction is not over because Erin sits on the executive of a Manitoba Homeopathic Association and is thrilled to also be part of the Canadians for Homeopathy Board and its mission to help bring awareness of homeopathy to more Canadians.
Wow, so wonderful, Erin. And you have some news to share, which you're going to share. Not that you have the flu, obviously, but the other news that we spoke about. But hey, from Naila and I, welcome to the Homeopathy Health Show. Now, how's that for an introduction?
Absolutely amazing. Thank you two so much. It is a thrill to be here. And from Canadians for Homeopathy, congratulations on being in the top 5% of podcasts worldwide. That's an amazing achievement for any podcast and a homeopathy podcast.
Oh, thank you. Hey, you know what? I didn't even realize there were that many. I mean, how can people talk so much? There's over 3.6 million podcasts on this planet. That's how many there are. Seriously, it's just amazing,
That number has boggled me. Wow.
That's a lot of talking.
Yeah. There's a lot of talking.
That's a lot of talking.
Isn't it? So...
But again, that's a lot of listeners as well. People talk and people listen. That's why we talk. And that's why we are here today, Erin. Welcome to our Homeopathy Health Show. It's your show, it's our show, it's everyone's show, and we are delighted to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm just thrilled to be here and talking about the organization I just love belonging to, Canadians for Homeopathy.
Before we go there, I mean, it's so nice. Of course, we're going to talk a lot about Canadians for Homeopathy and the ethos and how it's built and, what it really stands for. But there was something very beautiful that you said right at the beginning, because Naila and I have been communicating with the school, of course, and we collaborate on various ventures, and we didn't realize that we were communicating sometimes with yourself as Erin. And it never clicked until you, what's that word? Revealed that moment.
That's right. It's a small world moment, and I saved it till I could talk to you two in this format. I wear a few hats, as you know from the introduction, and one of those hats is doing some social media and communications work for the School of Homeopathy, my alma mater in England. Naila, your alma mater also. And so through wearing that hat, we've actually emailed several times over the last 2 years or so.
Yeah.
And I knew it, but I saved that little secret to surprise you.
Just watch how we email you now.
Like family. It'll be like family now, right?
Absolutely. As homeopaths, we are already family, but having a face and a name to the person that we're talking to is just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I cannot tell how the feeling is. It's feeling like, oh yeah, I'm meeting someone from family, and we cannot wait for you to come to England, and we'll have a nice cup of tea.
Nice cup of tea, absolutely.
That has to happen. Yes, lunch, dinner, etc. But a nice cup of tea.
Nice cup of tea, yeah.
Perfect. I can't wait.
Erin, to start with, I mean, do please share about Canadians for Homeopathy. One, love the name, seriously. I mean, it's not, I have to say, honestly, no, I'm not being biased, okay? But if it was, I don't know, Britons for Homeopathy or Americans Canadians for Homeopathy has that bell to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just flows. It's really nice, interesting, that.
Absolutely. It does. I wonder if it's the flow of the syllables but it does. Thank you so much. We wanted a simple name. We wanted to just be plain about it. There were, just so everyone knew exactly the two biggest features of the organization, Canadians and homeopathy.
So when was the seed planted? How did you come about Canadians for Homeopathy, or how did the ethos come about? That would just tell us the story, please.
You bet. So we are a nonprofit organization. We are entirely volunteer driven. I usually refer to our volunteer board of directors that has evolved a bit over time as scrappy, because we, it's not easy to run an entire organization as volunteers and grow it. We've recently brought on some admin support, some very part-time admin support, and that's been invaluable too. Our lovely Danielle has really helped us grow also. We started, I believe it was 2018. It was slightly before my time with the organization, but it was actually a special project as an offshoot of a larger natural health organization. And some of the people in that group realized that homeopathy wasn't being represented, and sort of it started as this special project, slightly modeled after For Homeopathy UK at first, but then we kind of developed our own identity. It stayed in that format for 2 or 3 years, and then that larger organization shut down. So we needed to make a decision. Were we going to shut down also, or were we going to regroup, rebrand, reorganize, and relaunch? And it was a no-brainer. We were all so passionate. At that point, I think the board had 5 people on it, the board of directors, and we knew what we wanted to do. So we spent some time, we reorganized, we had some help. Boiron Canada generously gifted us a few hours of their graphic designer to come up with our logo. They've always been a good supporter of ours right from the very beginning. And it's when we changed the name to Canadians for Homeopathy and really developed that 4-pronged, we have 4 pillars. This is when we came up with our 4 pillars that guide everything we do. We are here to communicate, advocate, educate, and celebrate homeopathy. So
I love that.
At our forefront of everything. Yeah.
That's really, really nice, especially the celebrate, because it's so important, isn't it? I often wonder when I look at the medical landscape, and we have some fantastic healthcare around the world, no doubt about it, no questions about it. And then you look at nature, right? And it's almost like the serene moment, isn't it? You know, and you look back and you look at trees and mushrooms and whatnot, grass and whatever's growing, you know, plants and that order that they're in. And then you know, little too many people know that those plants are so curative for some of the most complex modern healthcare conditions that people are suffering from. Isn't it, Naila? It's just something else.
And then it's not just those plants in their crude form or in their tincture form. Rather, it's their energetic value, the imprint they leave on the human body. Like, how inspiring is it when you take... I had a patient today, and the last time I saw, and the 4 weeks later, there has been a massive difference. I could see the calmness, the shift in her personality, which she couldn't notice herself. And why it happened? Just because I have given her a remedy which has nothing physical in it. Nothing physical in it. It's just the imprint, the energetic value of the substance. And I love your 4 pillars: communicate, advocate, educate, and celebrate, because
Love it.
yes, communication comes first. We need to be proud that we are a homeopath. We need to communicate it with our audience. Then we'll start advocating, because after this hurdle is over of communication, we'll advocate it. And then some of us will also become educators or educate ourselves. And that's the time for celebration, isn't it?
It's a time for celebration.
It
It absolutely is, isn't it, Erin?
Amazingly well said, Naila. I love how you wove
Exactly.
together
You
into
get
a
my point.
narrative.
You get my point now, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a blooper. This is something we discussed well before the show, but you get my point, right? Yeah, right.
Oh, but this is it. We cannot. These are the pillars that anything is based on. We cannot celebrate anything until we have the other 3 pillars in place. And that's why the celebration of homeopathy event, the gala event, because now is the time to celebrate homeopathy. And Homeopathy UK so beautifully created this gala event. It was not an easy task that they did. And there we met Canadians for Homeopathy as well. Like, how beautiful that we can connect. We have these threads weaving together.
That was just beautiful. It was such a nice moment, because people specially flew in, of course, you know, and it was just nice to talk and breathe homeopathy. There was no oxygen in the room. It's just, I think it was calendula, wasn't it, or something?
There was rescue remedy on the table.
Yeah, there was actually.
So Erin, for our audience, what does Canadians for Homeopathy do? What are they looking for when they are thinking about Canadians for Homeopathy?
Thank you for asking. So we have the consumer, the everyday user is who we keep in mind, and who we're really there for. So we want to be a reliable, high quality, robust resource for people who are in love with homeopathy, or who just want to know more, or who want to use it in their daily lives. So we do that through, in a few ways. We try to provide as much high quality information as we can for free for everyone. We do also have a subscriber option where we have some goodies tucked away behind a subscribership, because of course, as a not-for-profit, you do need funds to keep the lights on. Zoom accounts and websites are actually really expensive.
Yep.
And they really are. It's remarkable. So we offer our website. We have a great FAQ page. We have Find a Homeopath page that we're working on updating to a new format with more individual listings, but we currently link to different homeopathic organizations in all the regions in Canada. We have an advocacy section. That is something we're growing more and more, but when there is a campaign that can positively affect homeopathy going on in Canada, we always provide information about it. And then we have a lovely resource page that's just got a little bit of everything, including a link to our favorite podcast, where this one's high on there.
Uh-huh.
The first aid books that our board of directors loves and cherishes and would recommend to home users and first-time users, where to buy the books that ship to Canada. So sources, these sorts of things. We also have some wonderful videos. A new one just dropped. One of our directors, Shirley Girton, has started an amazingly charming and informative series of little short videos under 10 minutes called A Homeopathic Dose of History, Story Time with Shirley,
Oh,
which she
interesting.
tells interesting little stories from the homeopathic history books in really storytelling format. It's
Wow.
really charming. Another one of our directors, Victor Chirone, has started doing some interviews with homeopaths who have been practicing for decades, sort of that wisdom piece. So we've got this large variety of resources to start educating people on homeopathy and providing good value, to get inspired and use it at home on our website.
I think Victor Cirone, this name rings a bell. I think I have seen his posts on Facebook, and he's very active in our Homeopathy in Practice Facebook account as well. Also, such a small world.
It's a small world.
Yeah.
The other thing that we do that we are so proud of and was sort of our original offerings, so is our webinars. And we do webinars once a month, 10 months of the year, and they are always free to attend live. We are committed to keeping it that way. The recordings then go into a library for our subscribers. We have over 50 now, with a few really important ones available for everyone on our website. So under the events section of our website, which is canadiansforhomeopathy.com, there is, if you click on the webinars section there are some available for everyone to see. So you can kind of get a taste of the other ones that you would have access to as a subscriber. So things like how to help with wildfire smoke with homeopathic remedies you may have at home, an introduction to using tissue salts, homeopathy for babies and children, those sorts of things that we just want to keep there for everyone. So we've got this great website, and then these webinars once a month are wide variety of topics and a wide variety of presenters, mostly Canadian, but some international. And yeah, we really just want everyday users of homeopathy to understand, learn more, be empowered, and also know when to call a professional homeopath.
Yeah, of course. That is very, very important what you say, and that they need to know when to call a professional homeopath. Yes, it is very, very important that you know, and you are going to learn about homeopathy by using it firsthand. Like most of us have used it from a kit or from a pharmacy, etc. I have not been to homeopath before committing myself to homeopathy. The first things or the first aha moments were when someone introduced it to me or 20, 30 years ago, and I was like, oh wow, these are magic pills. I love them. And that's why this is so nicely said, we need to empower our everyday users. And if we can empower our everyday users, they are going to become the advocate of homeopathy because they know how to use it firsthand, and it's not so difficult. If there is a cough and a cold, and if it's a cuts and a graze, you can use it. You don't have to call someone. You can treat it at home. But if the cough is coming frequently, if the cold is coming frequently, if you're falling more frequently, there is a constitutional picture there, and please contact a homeopath.
Yeah, I need one because I have a cold, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't realize. I know I mentioned it at the beginning. I just think it's very pertinent and timely for me to say it again. I have a cold. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a pulsatilla cold, everyone.
That was the break in this episode of the Homeopathy Health Show. We're back to the conversation. Time to be inspired.
You're sending you pulsatilla. Here, take it.
That's hilarious.
Sending me pulsatilla. Oh, ka-ching, ka-ching. Boom, 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 boom. Now I need arnica and a cold.
You two have the best dynamic. It is such a lively and engaging podcast because of the lighthearted, wonderful dynamic you two have. It's amazing. Now, can you imagine if everyone in a country or every household in a country had even an 8-remedy kit? Or
Exactly.
can you, I mean, that would be a dream come true. And that's why we want people to, I mean, if people attend a webinar, are interested, attend a webinar and go, I'm going to go buy a tube of Arnica 30C. That's it. That's all I can do to start. And then watch another webinar and learn. And, and some of our webinars are really in depth. Some, there's a variety, but that's why we put all this out. And Naila, I think you hit the nail on the head. Homeopathy is not going anywhere if people fall in love with it and use it. Everyday consumers are the absolute foundation of this practice.
Absolutely.
Also, it's interesting you mentioned because one of our, we have our own academy, Homeopathy in Practice, where webinars and masterclasses are going, from strength to strength there. But one of our sort of requires and desires, which Naila I'll use that word, she advocates very heavily indeed, is that we want every household to have a homeopathic kit. It's a must. If you have a first aid kit, which let's say nearly every household, or at least they'll have a band-aid, right? A plaster. Why not homeopathy?
Exactly. I feel like all the first aid kits, they need to have the common first aid remedies anyway. I saw in Germany, they have these small kits and they call it kits for kids that you can put in their school bags, and there are like 6-8 remedies, like for example apis for bee stings or any other allergic reactions. They have arnica because tell me, kids, they fall. My daughter, she's always coming home with a note, oh, she fell in the ground, if she fell here, she fell there. They push each other, they fall. Arnica. And then there was I don't remember, I think there was Megphos in it because of the tummy aches, etc. There were like 3 to 4 remedies just for kids that they can administer themselves because they are safe.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's for kids. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was called, it's called KFK, right? Kids for Kids. But imagine if it was called Kids for Children. It would be KFC, wouldn't it? So every household would have KFC at home. How's that for marketing and branding? There you go. Hey? Hey? Finger licking good. Finger licking good, Arnica.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
That would be great branding.
So, Erin, I can see there is a lot of enthusiasm and lots of passion behind the team. As if you are here, I have seen Victor Ciron working on doing posts on Facebook, etc. So what do you do? From where does this inspiration come?
Yeah, we love our meetings. We are a board of directors of 6 plus our amazing admin person Danielle, who also she's a 7th. She's got an amazing voice also. And we're a mix of 3 professional homeopaths, 1 student, and 3 lay practitioners, like home homeopaths. And we have this voice, this combined vision, and we just have great meetings where the creativity flows, and people it's just a lot of, like you said, a lot of passion and a lot of inspiration in us. So then we just let the creativity flow, and now we have Danielle to organize us and help actually bring a lot of it to life. And so we can just push it forth and like offer it to, Canada. Yes, it's in the name. And some of our resources are quite Canadian, like Find a Homeopath is for, Canadian homeopaths, where to buy the books, those sorts of things. But we are also have great information for anyone. And you can access our website from anywhere, anytime. Time zones don't matter on the internet, so we can,
Doesn't.
yeah, so, and our newsletter is filled with lots of little goodies, lots of good information. So that's free for anyone to subscribe to. Yeah, so we really, that's where it comes from, is just us, our scrappy little board of volunteers who just really think exactly the same things you said, that the users, the actual people who homeopathy helps day in, day out, are the core of it.
You touched upon something really deep and profound. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go deep. And it was to do with hats. You said you wear different hats, and we all do, right? But isn't it so beautiful that, and this is just my observation, purely my personal observation, that in the medical world, I don't want to stereotype it, but generally you do have a white overall, right? Or you have your name. But nowadays it's much more relaxed, of course, but stethoscope, and the images that we see, okay? Medical professional, etc., etc. And yet homeopaths are just, I'm saying this for the love of homeopathy, okay? Not creating a divide. It's just, they're just like real people dressed as they are, whatever it is, if it's jeans and a polo shirt or whatever, they've got on, right? Or a blazer. But they're real people with real emotions, in the sense of that you can just approach them anywhere. You could be, if nowadays we have apps, right? So there's the Opus Go, isn't it? There's an app called Opus Go, which is available for mobiles, and you can repertorize on the go. So you could be anywhere as a homeopath. People would call you. It wouldn't be you need an appointment. It'd be like, hang on, let me just check something, and you could repertorize and guide somebody. The human touch of homeopathy is basically what I'm saying. That natural ability for us to connect is so profound.
Atiq, that's lovely, and I think you're exactly right. Homeopaths just are themselves. We're genuine people, and I wonder if part of it is that through our education, we weren't required to edit ourselves out. We weren't required to put parts of ourselves behind a wall in order to fit a mold. It wasn't work Erin and life Erin, right? So yeah, who knows? But you're right. Just genuine people. Everyone shows up as themselves, so you're talking to just a real person having a human experience also.
Yeah.
And then every homeopath has their own essence. They have their own way of taking the case, taking care of their patients. That's why maybe the patient that comes to me is not going to come to you, because I am the homeopath they want, and you are the homeopath someone else wants. And there is here again, we see the energy flowing. We are energy beings. Science is catching up that we are energy beings, and everything is energetically connected. Like they say, even if we touch each other, it's not actually touch, it's energy flowing. And so this is all energy, and this is what homeopathy is. We are going back to the roots. We are going back to who we were. And that makes us, us and homeopaths. Like you must, as you were saying, I wanted a profession that we've talked a lot before we started. So you wanted a career that you will love, that you will cherish, that will not be boring for you. And here you are as a homeopath. That's diverse. So it will be nice just for our audience to know how you came to homeopathy and why did you leave and why did you choose this?
Yeah. I found homeopathy when I was in I think my early 20s. I just a bunch of stuff wasn't right. I mean, I'm sure part of it was early 20s ennui, life dissatisfaction, but I'd had migraines every year, a couple migraines every year. You know what? Just some of this, some of that, and my doctor could only offer me pharmaceuticals. And I usually took them because that's what you did. I didn't think. And then I heard a story from a family friend, and I'm in Saskatchewan, the middle of the Canadian prairies, and we had one homeopath here. And I heard a story from a family friend about her migraines that were horrible and frequent getting reduced dramatically after seeing this homeopath. So I thought, okay, I liked that weird stuff. I was like, I'll go see this person. And it was like, it is so hard to describe unless you've had the experience. I'm sure you two will agree, but it's like a light got turned on that I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't define what happened. I couldn't categorize a list of things that changed, but something shifted. And I liked it and I knew it was good. So then I just, he was my homeopath for years. And I was ready for a career change, a long time later, in my mid to late 30s or something. And thought for a while. And then it just was so instantly obvious because I really wanted, like we talked about before we started, I wanted to never be bored. I didn't. I mean, name a homeopath that's bored. I don't think you can. It's too fascinating and there's too many wonderful resources. And I wanted to help people, which I know you both said in our chat before that's what draws most of us here. So those two things put together and put that with the thing that helped me and it was just became obvious.
So this is, I think, the story of most of us people who want to make a difference, who want to change something in their lives. Like we meet so many people every day. Some are really, really happy. Some are pretending they're really happy. Then there are so many people on social media. There is one social media face. There is one real face. What is real? What is fake? This is all what we call a disturbance in their vital force. And people who really are moved by these things are homeopaths because they want to change everyday life. They want, like, for example, I'm really passionate about teenagers because I see that is a time where you make their life or you take their life. And so much happens just because how they have spent their teenage years. And my kids, they are teenagers, and I started feeling, okay, they need help, and there is nothing pharmaceutical or anything else that can help them. And that's where homeopathy comes in. One day the child is so fiery and aggressive and doesn't know how to react, doesn't know how to express. You give them a remedy that is matching their vital force, their energy at that time. And you see in front of your own eyes how they calm down, how they come back and hug you then afterwards. This is what homeopathy does, isn't it?
I'd love to add to that on a slightly different from a different angle maybe, which is to do with which I've absolutely totally forgotten now. But anyway, let me try and remember it. Woo! Oh my God, this cold is killing me. This is what it is. It's just the cold. No, but it's
brain
interesting,
fog.
isn't
Take
it?
Jasemium. Pasatila over Jalsemium time now for you.
It's too late for me now. It's just, I have to see you next week. But it's interesting because the way people are and the norms that we have. So someone taught me to just be myself. And Mark Twain, taking it slightly to a different, said, if you always speak the truth, you never have to remember anything, because a yes will always be a yes, a no will be a no. At 2 o'clock it happened will be at 2 o'clock it happened. It won't be 2:05 it happened because it happened at 2. We don't have to remember because it's factual. But nowadays, the peer pressure and everything we see, and that's why homeopathy is so powerful for mental health conditions or emotions, to balance people. It's like people are being pushed and pulled and nobody knows who they really are. Whereas one of the reasons okay, it's a show, but in all honesty, one of the reasons Naila and I we get on, is because we actually are like you see us, Yes, of course, serious moments, but, we're just us. It's just being. There's no need to be something. Just be yourself, and we can be homeopaths like this. We can be just happy like this. We can be teachers like this. We can, whatever it is, But nowadays, everyone's being pushed and pulled. You need to be this, or you need to conform to this, or this is how you should be acting. It's like, okay, there's improvements, of course, like millions to do, but just be yourself. Don't go over the top. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? I don't know.
And isn't that the most beautiful part of homeopathy, is it can help people be themselves.
Yeah.
Come home to themselves, whatever wording you want to use. It's not, because and just going back to what you said a little while ago, Atiq, that homeopaths don't tend to put on a facade. We just are who we are, and so if you're a joke cracker, you're a joke cracker. If you're a research nerd, you're a research nerd. It's wonderful.
This is why we are homeopaths, because we couldn't confirm. We couldn't confirm to the norms. No, I don't want this 9 to 5 job. No, I don't want this job which restricts me to be myself. Like, it's sometimes so difficult just to be a computer, doing same things every day, doing just same things. And now when people walk into your doors with their own life story, it's like watching a beautiful life evolving in front of you. And then you have the means in your hands to make that unstuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so true.
Exactly. Yeah.
It actually takes me to there's some research I saw just a couple of days back, and they said that if you're, I shared it with you, Naila, that it was, if you are stuck in a routine, like you come to work 9, you go home at 5, it's 1.5 hours in the traffic, and then you go home and it's going to be dinner, and then sleep, blah, blah, blah. And they said if you do one thing different in every day, which you wouldn't, even if it's literally for 1 minute, which your brain is not programmed to remember, you break that boredom and the dullness out of it. So now, taking this to homeopathy, how blessed we are. Patients and people and professions from all different. No one consultation is the same, basically, isn't it? It's so varied. It's like you can't get bored ever.
All different. Yeah, absolutely. You can't get bored. It's not possible. Every human in front of you who gifts you with the trust and of telling you their story is amazing.
Especially
then
the ones that come with a cold. Anyway. Oh,
The
sorry.
cold.
Ding dong. I have a cold, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry for this intermission. Please help yourself to the ice cream.
Thank you for the intermission, Ati. But no, I have the cup.
I've thrown you
Now
off.
I have the cup.
I'm
Okay.
gonna sneeze. Help.
We need a group.
I'm sorry. Go on. Naila, go on.
No, let's move on. I was just trying to say, even if we feel like, okay, there is something else that we want to do, a bunch of people, a group of people come up with something very, very interesting, inspiring, that is like Canadians for Homeopathy. They
Yeah.
came up, volunteers, group together, and now let's change, let's reform, let's educate people, let's tell them homeopathy is a thing that can help you. Like, who does that?
It homeopathy just almost begs for it to be done because it's so wonderful. I've never met a homeopath who wasn't passionate and who didn't want to shout it from the rooftops and who has to hold back on like firing pellets into people's mouths in public, right? Because it's like, I just know what you need, right? We're all so passionate because once you've learned it, once you've seen the way it works, and I think that's true of home users too. I don't think that's limited to professional homeopaths. Once you've seen how it works, once you've seen how, the absolute, how a dose of arnica will change the stub toe, like will change that will just help that so much. How can you not just start to be more passionate?
Yeah.
Exactly. My children don't know how a bruise look like because all they know is arnica. I remember there's a there's a beautiful story. We went on a holiday, and my brother's kids were alongside us, and they got, all of them got some chicks. And my brother's son, his chick fell down, and they are also using homeopathy for everything. When the chick fell down, he shouted at Mom, he fell down. He needs some arnica. Now
So cute.
think about those kids. Like they
That's
know
so
if someone
brilliant.
falls down, they need arnica. They will never know how. I think I need to stop giving them arnica so they actually know what arnica does to them.
You know what we should do, Erin, Naila, you and I. You know they do the races, don't they? The 400 meters. You know they race around a track, don't they? And I used to do kung fu when I was younger, so I looked at what ninjas do, and there was something called a ninja star, which they would throw, yeah, as self-defense. Which you put arnica like a ninja star, and as the athletes run around, doo, 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 doo. I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah, they wouldn't even know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Or
that's the
like
cool.
cooling misters, just like yeah.
Then, as far I know, the sports teams in Germany, they all use homeopathy.
Mm.
They all use homeopathy in one form or another, and they are now rebranding and rephrasing, calling it some nanomedicine or micromedicine and microdosing, etc. Like it is being, the names are being changed, so maybe it will be more acceptable for the society to
Do you know what?
choose something, use something.
You've said something so important, Nyla, because okay, don't get me wrong, right? But seriously, if it means it spreads homeopathy, because ultimately, whatever you call it, people will still know it's homeopathy, right? It's okay then, isn't it? It's just a name
A rose
change.
by any other name will smell as sweet, right? Isn't that
Mm.
Shakespeare, I think? So yeah.
Nanomedicine. Well, homeopathy is nanomedicine anyway, isn't it? Right?
And the sports teams, yeah, and I believe in France too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think in Brazil, I've read. I know. I think it's what a wonderful ambassadors. If we the athletes that have the cool factor for everyone, then yeah.
Exactly. And then uh, I know because it's so readily available, but there are usually mixtures of few remedies readily available in pharmacies. Like this is a cold mix, this is a cough mix, this is this mix, but they work. And these are the first introduction to homeopathy. So I don't mind because they are in a very low potency, like a 4x or a 2x or a 3x. So they're not going to do any change on constitutional level, but they're going to help you in that bad acute phase. And that is your introduction to homeopathy. And yes, why not? Let's bring them to.
Yeah, exactly. Just the introduction is amazing. And I don't think people should underestimate the power of that home first aid, that first aid
Yeah.
use. I mean, it starts to help you strengthen as a person, get more balanced as a person. I had one incredible, I mean, this doesn't happen every day, of course, but when I was a student and I had a really good friend come to me for a backache. She'd had a mild injury and it was a backache. And we found a remedy for her and she took her remedy once, I think, one dose, low 30C, I think. And she called me 2 days later. She's like, I quit smoking. I refinished my stairs I'm like, what? And she still hasn't started smoking again yet, 8 years later. I'm like, now, of course, that doesn't happen with every first day, but it just shows that just treating things as
Exactly.
they come. I mean, everyone, it's a pretty exceptional example, but it's a fun example.
It's
Um, yeah, of
absolutely.
how it can help,
Wonderful.
and it's, and to
Mm.
not be scared. It's something people can do at home, especially if they start to get educated a little bit with with the home user books and
Yeah,
It's
like,
so
this
nice.
is our passion as well. I tell you, Erin, I don't know how it's going to happen. We have just said it, you have said it. We really hope and wish that every household has a homeopathy kit.
Yeah.
Because they come with a nice small booklet and they can use it. Like you can, how often they have to run to hospitals at 1 o'clock only if they knew aconite exists.
exactly.
Exactly.
You could just reduce that load, reduce that burden, and yeah, and also empower people, take down the fear. I mean, there's so much fear, especially in parents when little ones get sick. And if you can feel like there's something you can do right
Yeah.
now that's safe, and the worst thing that happens is nothing, then you can start to be empowered, and then fear over illness starts to go down, and there's nothing but positives, right? I mean, how can all of us not be passionate about this beautiful topic?
Exactly. Love that. And you will be surprised to know that we are actually at the end of the episode. Like this conversation can go on and on and on, but
I was just as surprised there for a moment. I was like, what?
exactly. What? This is how time flies when homeopaths are talking, and because we are all passionate, we as Homeopathy Health Show do it voluntarily as well. The whole show, editing, social media, everything is volunteered. Our hours that we spend on it is just because we have this passion to bring the voice of homeopathy to the world. We are the voice of homeopathy because homeopathy needs a voice. Everyone wants to suppress it, but we can't be. You cannot suppress the voice because we know how to bring the vital force back to balance. We'll take our sino step stagni and shout out loud because we are homeopaths.
I am so grateful. We are all so grateful. Like, what a thank you too for doing that, because you are such an amazing resource for everyone. And I love one of your taglines, join the conversation, or be a part of the conversation. It's you two have provided such an amazing resource for all those passionate about homeopathy. So thank you for what you do. Volunteers, awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to Canadians for Homeopathy because we know what goes into a position that is a volunteered position because we have a passion and we carry this passion together. If you have loved this episode and you want to subscribe to the newsletter for Canadians of Homeopathy, I've just subscribed it because I knew that I didn't already. It is canadiansforhomeopathy.com, and Jen, a nice pop-up will come up and you sign up to the newsletter. As Erin has said, it's full of information and you love it. They do run free webinars. Is it once a month, Erin?
Once a month, we take July and August off, but once a month for the other 10
Once a month. The timing was, I have registered for a couple, but the timings were difficult for me.
I hope you've registered for your one because we're doing one, aren't we? I hope you've registered for that one.
But I say the timings were like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. But I tell you, homeopaths are so passionate, especially from Australia. They join at odd times, 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. And I'm so amazed how they are dedicated. We are the most dedicated folk. And there's one thing that I love to love to say. I have yet to meet a homeopath who will say that they don't love their job.
That is so true. Absolutely. That.
And also,
Right.
you'll be pleased to know, Erin, I'm just looking at the stats. So Canada is out of the 77 countries that the third position for the most downloads or listens of the Homeopathy Health Show per week. That's out of the 65,000 listeners, so not
A
bad.
Canadian, get to the first one. Why not? You can.
Yeah.
It's right. It's such a great show. I love it. We have we're a pretty large country, so our highway drives are long. So we are podcast freaks. So that's great.
It's been so wonderful to have you on, and honestly, joking aside now, but seriously, it's been wonderful to have you. But also, thank you for all the work that you do, because it's not easy, we know, and especially when it comes to voluntary work as well. Everything that you do as a homeopath, we wish Canadians for homeopathy the greatest success. You absolutely have Naila and I's support from the Homeopathy Health Show, and just us, and just reach out with whatever you need. And I would ask all the listeners, wouldn't we, Naila, that please subscribe to the newsletter, which you've said, but also show your support, and visit and check this out, this movement of Canadians for homeopathy, right, Naila?
Absolutely. Check out, come on, we all love something for free, don't we? So check out, subscribe to the newsletter, watch this. Canada is big. There's so many people. If you are a mother who wants to use homeopathy, subscribe and listen to those conversations that the beautiful crowd is offering. Why not? It's for free. Do it. And before we go, as we mentioned, Opus Go, it's a new app that Radar Opus Zeosoft has launched. If you and other homeopaths don't have it, please download it. It's a wonderful app and it's free to download. There are subscriber options available, but we homeopaths love apps, don't we? Anything in your phone, right?
Apps are the best. Yeah.
And also for all the listeners, please go to just do what's the website? Just type in Opus Go, you'll get the URL and download.
Yeah, who remembers the websites now? We just type it on Google, or you type opusgo.app and you will find it.
Google Opus Go, and it will.
I can't wait to
really
check
change
that
your
out.
Yeah, you love it. I'm sure you will. If I love it, you love it as well.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you, Erin, for coming and joining the conversation.
Thank you for having me and letting me talk about this amazing organization I'm so passionate about, and we appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
I do hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of the Homeopathy Health Show. Tune in every week for inspiring conversations, bringing you all things health and well-being to your radio and podcast apps.
The more exposure the Homeopathy Health Show receives, the better for homeopathy around the world.
And please do support the show by clicking follow on our socials.
You can find us at www.homeopathyinpractice.co.uk and on Facebook and Instagram at Homeopathy in Practice. Do give us a follow on there. Let's promote the voice of homeopathy around the world together. Until next time, stay safe and take care.